up, guys?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? This crazy ass background. look at this clipping.
Gotta get
All
this
right.
thing going. All right. How about that Wondavision, guys? That's pretty good, the last one.
Yes.
Yes, definitely feeling it. Starting to pick up steam. You caught it though, right?
Yeah, man, I caught it. Though that was how she got shot out of the whole universe over there. She went in and went out in like 5 minutes. So that was that. But the fact that they're picking it up on like old broadcasted television, they got her like her own TV show practically. And that's just interesting. And then they talk to. That's why you see that part when you hear him on the radio. It makes sense now. Like they're putting all to episodes like together now. You know, like that episode kind of tied every other one together. I feel. It actually answered everything that I was actually like, what is going on?
I like how they did it from the beginning, and then as it went through on the other end, on their view of how it was during episode 1, 2, and 3, on what was going on the outside.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool that it wasn't just simply, the next installment of what's going on. It's started a little bit as like a recap episode, but you also got to see, what's actually happening in the real world when this is happening in Wanda's world.
Oh, I want to know who that other person is. Like it's like on the other end over there. It looks like from the beginning, that person that's been like watching it on TV and like it looks like they're recording it.
Oh, that's Darcy.
You see, that's who?
Wait, did you see episode 4 or episode 3?
I saw all 4, man.
Then that's Darcy. That's the
No. I'm talking about that. If you notice at the end of each one, there's like a person, like it looks at it in the screen.
Darcy.
They've been doing it.
That's Darcy.
The one that's watching it on TV.
That's Darcy. Yes.
But yeah, the one who closed the book in the beginning.
Yes.
That's
Who
Darcy.
is that?
Darcy.
That's not Darcy.
That's Darcy. She's the one who figured out, okay, I need a TV. Give me a TV.
No, I know that. I get that part.
Yeah, she's the one.
But there's been somebody watching the whole thing this whole time other than her. There's like a separate person. That's the separate person because it doesn't look like they show Darcy there. They're not showing anybody. They're just showing a hand.
Because they didn't want to reveal it was her, those first few episodes.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
100%.
In the beginning, they only showed her hand, and then now in episode 4, they show the whole picture, and it was her. That's her hand.
Okay.
He just gave up.
I thought that was like another thing because I'm gonna watch this later. And I'm gonna prove you guys wrong.
He's seconds away from saying agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly. But she's buck wild, man. Like Wanda is buck wild. Like you said a beekeeper, the dude that came through the sewer. He did, the jump rope. Come on, like had no cables back there.
Yep.
It's when you cross into her world, whatever you're wearing or I guess equipment wise, it kind of changes to fit the aesthetics of that world that she's created. So that guy went in like in a hazmat suit. I guess back then they were wearing like real hazmat suits or something like that. So it kind of just translated into something that would make sense, which is a beekeeper outfit. However, that is supposedly a Easter egg that points towards AIM, the supervillain like scientist group in the Marvel comics. They're historically called like their goons are like beekeepers because the way that they're drawn, their outfits. So a lot of people are saying that's like a nod towards AIM.
Okay, that'd be interesting to put in there. How many episodes? Do you guys know how many episodes is going to be for these seasons? I mean, are they going by like?
Is it 8?
I'm thinking it's 8.
Yeah, I want to say because I believe Mandalorian was 8 episodes, and I think they're following a similar.
Yeah, they were 8
plan.
episodes.
Yeah,
they were 8 episodes each. Which is I find it a little short, but I guess you could do more seasons that way.
I mean, not too bad.
I mean, but I feel like a lot of these episodes are like very sporadic on time. Some are like 39, some are like 34, some are like 29. It's like very sporadic on the time frame. I feel like why? And then they did that with the Mandalorian too. Like they did, you had different times on all these shows. It's like it's weird that to see a show just different times to me. I don't know.
But yeah, you got to realize that a lot of these episodes are being shot by different directors, so they have an idea of how long they want their story to be told. I guess because with the Mandalorian, it wasn't just one director. You have Jon Favreau, who is he's the showrunner. He's the one who's who's approving everything. But each episode featured a different director. So I'm not sure that's the same for WandaVision. We have to look that up. But I want to say it's been pretty tight time wise with WandaVision. All 4 episodes so far are rounded out at just about 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 episodes.
9. Okay.
Yeah, and I know like the first few, I think like the first episode was like maybe 26 minutes, 28 minutes. And then like the second episode was maybe like 32 or 36, and then the next one was like 39 or 35.
Really?
So it's ranging, but maybe they're just getting longer as they go.
And the next episode is gonna be a 4-hour movie like Justice League.
I'm wondering where they're gonna go as far as this whole thing. Like, I mean, because they're already showing this zombie vision. I mean, how are they gonna really kick this off next?
Zombie vision.
You know what I mean?
That was a shock to see that.
That was dope. That was actually kind of dope, and that was actually kind of like surprising that she saw it like that. And I was like, yeah,
now,
there we go.
Are these people? I mean, they got their IDs. They identified them, but they can't identify Agnes and Vision. Like the zombie Vision, is she controlling his dead body but changing its reality around it, or was just in her mind, like that's how she was remembering?
That's her last memory of him, maybe. Like because supposedly there was going to be a scene in Endgame. I want to say that was cut out. That end credit scene was her taking his dead body back, but it was cut out. They went with a more softer, end scene credit and stuff. But that and that could have spoiled a lot of what was going to happen in WandaVision. But it's crazy. Like, is that really his dead body? And if so, like, then clearly his conscience can't exist. So she's projecting his conscience. But is her power so crazy that she can, bring life to consciousness like that?
I think she is bringing, because the way he talks, but he's a little goofy, but it sounds like him at the same time because he's still got the intellectual part of like he knows all these things. He's acting like he's as fast as a computer. Still, like you see it when he works. It's like he can move and dictate everything. Like the way his wording is. It's still his intellectual self. So I think he's literally she put like almost like put his like kind of I guess essence inside that being, whatever you want to call it. I think she's doing it, and because I don't think she's manning everything he says, because if she was, she'd be sitting there all day.
Yeah, how crazy is her power that she can, she's doing all this. She's changed the universe around her. She's pretty much wiped people's memory, So, they're fitting this story that she's creating in her head. And she's even like reanimating her dead, love. That's crazy. I think she's doing all this at once. I mean, she even willed children to life. So I was what else is going to happen? In an interview, the actor who plays Vision, Paul Bettany, he even said that towards the end of WandaVision, you're going to see some special effects are going to rival, if not look crazier than the end of Endgame, which is if they go that route, maybe he's tooting his own horn, but if they go that route, that's crazy because the end of Endgame was outrageous. So if that's what they're going to bring towards WandaVision at the end, Disney is serious about these shows that they're crafting.
Well, right now, as you see, as the world is going right now, movies I feel like are slowly losing their effect, and certain shows are just rising and rising and rising as time goes on. Like seasons are doing way better than movies, and I mean, granted, you could do them for years, and that's the also great part for all these actors. You could be doing these series. You could do a series each year. Maybe you could do two of them, depending on how well these things do.
See,
Yeah.
that's why I like both, because the TV series you can get a lot more of it throughout time, but the movie is a bigger budget, so it's going to look a lot better for that one moment. So,
The
but
thing is,
I don't know.
like TV shows and just like streaming series, they're starting to get Hollywood like budgets, and the way that these series can be filmed and the way they can apply special effects to them are beginning to rival anything that's on the silver screen. Just like how they even shot the Mandalorian, for instance. The new techniques that they create, like the sounds, the new stage that they created for the Mandalorian was, it's crazy, and it's like going to revolutionize the way they shoot film.
Use an LED LCD background
Yeah, it's a LCD background.
instead of a green screen. It's an actual bending screen, and that it gives off like the natural lighting of whatever's on that screen. So if it's a sunset, if it's a mountaintop or whatever, you're gonna see that lighting, and then they can just play off of that on the set.
Which is
that's ridiculous.
It's crazy,
a gigantic wall.
Because that's kind of taking the need to be on location. Like you don't need to be like, if you're going to shoot in a forest, you really don't need to be in the forest. They can make the stage look like a forest around you, and then the background is just going to be this screen that has like depth to it. So and that's just going to get better with time.
Oh yeah.
It's a great idea. I mean, I like how they went on like an old effect with Mandalorian. They did like it's like if you look at certain scenes, it looks like the old effect, the old movies a little bit. And then when they go to like those like the planets, like as a bigger view, it's a little more computerized, which I like the background that you're talking about, and I think it's a great effect. And it's definitely adding depth to these shows, if that's the case with all these shows. And with this WandaVision, you got this black and white thing, which is interesting too. And you got like a black and white thing, but you're adding the actual crisp, likeness of the way they do, film now, which I like even better. Because if you look at the old black and white, it's a little gritty. You know what I mean? You see, it's not as clear as it is now. And
Logan came out with black and white also. Logan was black and white.
Oh,
original.
Yeah.
Well, they came out with two versions, but one of it was black and
white.
Yeah.
Now going back to WandaVision, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but on certain scenes, when it's like switching from, I guess, the eras, the screen, the aspect ratio of the screen was changing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So that was that's a cool aesthetic that they tossed in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I noticed they're showing you a little more as the color is coming about. They're showing you a little more, and then when they go to their actual present, you get the whole full screen as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's a nice way they're changing around on this. The visual effects are definitely nice, especially considering where they're starting out. Like they're starting out making it look like a I Love Lucy, and it's turning into, something like a close to that 70s show. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting.
All right. Well, just closing up with WandaVision, I'm definitely looking forward to what they have planned. I'm a big Marvel fan. I was a little worried that they were going to go off with WandaVision to start off their series. I was kind of expecting them to go with something like Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think this is going to kick it off in the right direction. So far, I've been happy, and I just know that with the next episodes, it's just going to get crazier.
Oh yeah, considering this is all witchcraft, anything's just going to be possible on it. Anything, because it's all witchcraft.
All right, and what's next?
Let's see, Godzilla.
Reason to watch HBO Max.
I actually got it. I actually started watching a few things. Well, couple shows, but I got the HBO Max just for that reason, just to try to catch up with all the DC stuff too, that you guys been talking about.
Yeah,
Go ahead with the Godzilla.
they got a lot of good shows on there. Right now, me and the wife are watching Friends on there, so they have the whole Friends catalog. But
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
saw that. I saw that. I've actually started watching the Doom Patrol, which just like Anthony was telling me, it's not really a lot of fighting or anything, but like the just the talking and everything, and like the scenes of the humor are hilarious, and then they're cursing all over the place, especially like one, like the main character so far is the robot, Cliff, which is
yeah,
he's just hilarious, and I'm just liking the way they're doing a lot of things with that too, and it's just nobody's fighting, but they're doing stuff. It's like when
Yeah.
they're getting sucked into this and sucked into that. It's just like what the. This is the craziness of the show. Is funny.
Eventually they will start to say, listen, we need to do something. We have powers, like we got to like get out there
Hmm.
because they were very like closed off. They just lived in a house. So like they didn't want to be bothered and made from tragedy from each one of them. So
now
but
going back
But
to
it's
what are those things? I mean, what is that essence that's kind of like grabbing these guys? I mean, what
they'll
what is?
they'll get
They
into it.
explain that, right?
Yeah.
I gotta know what that is. But anyway,
Yeah. And they
back to
completely break
our
the fourth
topic.
wall too.
They break the fourth wall. Oh, nice. They not just the ground.
um,
Um,
before we dive into Godzilla, like, are the other movies on there? Is the first Godzilla movie on HBO Max? Do you know?
I saw a bunch of. They have a,
mhm.
a, a whole bunch of Godzilla movies on there. Like I thought, I think they have the original too, and then they have like the old ones too on there as
Oh,
well. They had
really?
a whole section of Godzilla stuff that you have to look at.
I
I was
haven't
actually taking a look.
I haven't checked that out yet because I know getting closer towards March. What is it? March 30 or March 29th is going to come out.
18th. I just thought it was like the 18th or something.
No, they pushed it back to the end of March. Godzilla
Oh,
versus Kong.
Yeah.
But
oh,
like,
because yeah, I'm thinking the other one. I'm thinking the other one, Justice League. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
because
both of them got pushed to March.
yeah,
Okay.
it's about a month away, 2 months away now, roughly. But I want to actually like binge watch all the Godzilla movies. As far as the first Godzilla movie, then
Oh yeah,
Skull Island, and
HBO.
then yeah,
Yeah, and Max has got like all that stuff. I saw a whole bunch of they had a whole section of that because I was just looking it up. I wanted to see if it showed the date and everything, and there they had a whole section of that. Oh yeah, there you go.
there we go. All right, now I'm gonna ask you guys personal opinion: who is gonna win, Kong or Godzilla?
Neither one.
That's what I'm thinking.
The humans are gonna win.
Nah, I think the humans are getting kind of fucked up there.
Oh,
Um,
what is
Probably if you're really gonna go as far as the
what is that?
my what is that?
That is what a
That's
lot
that
of people are
robot one.
saying. Or yeah, a lot of people believe it's Mechagodzilla.
That's definitely the robot one.
Yeah, like I think what is gonna end up happening is you're gonna have Mechagodzilla disguised as Godzilla pick a fight with Kong. Maybe after he, destroys a lot of cities, people are like, "Oh, why is Godzilla rampaging?" And then they're gonna get Kong to fight Godzilla. You're gonna have Mechagodzilla pick a fight with Kong, and then you're gonna have Kong sneak up on real Godzilla and catch him unaware. And then at some point they're gonna end up teaming up, and then they're gonna, fight Mechagodzilla. Because originally in the first appearance of Mechagodzilla in the old school Japanese movies, he was a mechanical monster made by aliens in disguise as Godzilla. And it wasn't until like later iterations where they changed up the backstory, and Mechagodzilla was a weapon designed to fight Godzilla, designed by humans and stuff. So there's a good chance that they might kind of pay homage to the origins of that. In
The aliens. You go with
not,
the
not,
aliens, you think?
I don't think aliens per se, but at the end of the last Godzilla movie, was it King of Monsters?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was that organization that were actively trying to destroy the world. So this is,
Mhm.
it could just be humans, but this is their way of trying to carry on that plot. Because
Was that Monarch?
it wasn't Monarch, it was Monarch is like the group that's studying them, but there was like some, radical group of humans who just wanted to. I guess they wanted to return the world to like status quo, with humans not destroying the world, and this was their way of doing that. They weren't trying to destroy the world; they're just trying to destroy humanity. So this, I'm pretty sure this could be another plot of theirs, because ultimately, you have Godzilla fans, you have King Kong fans, and in the majority of these versus movies, when was the last time you ever see like a clear cut winner? Batman versus Superman. Can you say who honestly won?
Martha won.
Martha won. Martha. Why'd you say that, Dave?
Yeah, even Freddy versus Jason.
Nobody won that. I mean,
No.
because
Alien
Fred
versus
never
Predator.
dies.
Exactly.
It's just cool to
aliens
watch,
just go
though.
on forever.
It's cool to see.
No, the aliens versus Predator not bad. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I agree with you with that. But yeah, the aliens never die. Those things keep on going. Predators keep on going. Everything keeps on going. But I always want to see Kong win. I don't know about you guys, but I always want to see Kong win just because, you know what, it's brute strength over all these crazy powers. And I just want to see the brute strength just beat on that thing at times because you just make all this noise and fire coming out all over the place. And Kong just smacking them up. You know what I mean? I like that aspect of how Kong is. Everything's just smash and grab. You know what I mean? And Godzilla's going to shoot fire at him, and that's all that's really going to go on. He's going to try and block it with something. You're going to get a Thanos moment with the hammer and like a Thor moment going on here with Kong. And Kong's going to smack him, he does like probably half the movie.
I'm just saying, though, unless Kong is fire retarded, like, how is he going to stop a blast from Godzilla?
You got to move. You got to move. You know what I mean? But I don't think the blast goes through him, though. I mean, does the blast go through him if he gets hit? I don't think his blast is that strong. I think he stops the blast with something, or at least I think maybe picks up a bus or something and just throws it at his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, and stops it, or has like a shield or something. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised they take something and he uses like a shield just to throw it a Marvel aspect.
Well,
you know
if you've seen the quick trailer, but if you kind of spoiled it for yourself and looked at the toys that they're releasing, Kong does come with I guess like an axe that he made from a Godzilla. Like it's an axe made of
the Thanos moment with the Thanos and Thor moment. Him coming at Godzilla like a.
Did you see what the axe was? Did you see what the axe was made out of though?
Was it made out of his back? Like his back,
yeah, it's a Godzilla's spine, like one of the spikes.
Like whatever that scale or whatever you want. I guess you call it a scale, right? Because I think technically a lizard.
I think it's called a back spine or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, that exact moment we're talking about right there. How do you rip that off? He ripped that thing off and he put it. He just that. See what I'm saying? Like it's just like to me, I feel like he's also smarter than Godzilla. You know what I mean? Because it's a straight.
That's what they're playing up. He has the primate intelligence. He's making tools, whereas Godzilla is more like raw instinct and like an active nature. So
a dinosaur.
Yeah,
a dinosaur with that can breathe whatever that's coming out of
now. I got two ideas on this, but I want to see like a tie because I believe this is the last Godzilla movie that they're going to be able to make because Legendary Films licensed, they got the license for Godzilla and a bunch of Japanese monsters from the parent company Toho. But Toho, those are the guys who traditionally make the men in the suits, like monster movies in Japan. They recently, as of last year, I want to say, or maybe 2019, they did get studios in America. So they want to start making the Japanese Godzilla movies, but like in America, using American studios, and they want to release it in Japan and America. They want to bring back that that kind of era Godzilla movies. So I'm not sure if they're going to continue their relationship with Legendary, and if they're going to be like two Godzilla, series out. You'll have the Japanese movies, but you also have the American ones. Because if they don't, then what you have is there's going to be a large vacuum of these monster movies because you can no longer use Godzilla, Rodan, Martha, King Ghidorah, like all these monsters. That's it. So now that they're doing a Skull Island cartoon on Netflix, obviously Legendary wants to continue, like this world that they're making. So hopefully, I would like to see all these monsters continue because I like these monster movies. There was plans for like a Rodan movie, I think, at some point, and I would like to see all these movies. But if they don't get the rights or they don't extend the rights from Toho, then I think you might actually see Kong as the winner in this movie, and that's where he's gonna get the name King Kong from. Because right now he's just being called Kong. That's it. But if he
I was thinking about that.
yeah, if he defeats the king of all monsters, Godzilla, then oh, that's gonna be King Kong.
Hmm.
So ultimately, I like to see a stalemate. I want to see. I think they're gonna go with the whole. We have to team up. There's a greater enemy. We got to fight Doomsday. I mean, whatever the monster is.
Yeah.
And they come together. But if not, maybe Kong will actually beat Godzilla's ass, which is crazy for me to believe, but he might beat his ass, and who knows?
Nobody
It'll
cares.
be interesting. I always find it interesting with these big creatures like that. Remember those movies that came out with the people made big robots? What are those movies called? I forget those movies.
You talking about Pacific Rim?
Yes, yes. Wouldn't that be nice to see something kind of tied into there and like in this? Not saying so much a movie, but maybe like the cartoon. I mean, the humans come up with something other than like that old Godzilla looking thing and come up with their own kind of robot and just like fight these things. That'd be kind of cool.
Guillermo del Toro said that.
Yeah, he's a big Godzilla fan, and he wanted to do some sort of crossover, and it would have been dope. I mean, his movie kind of lends to the idea that there's other worlds out there, So they could have that would have been dope to see that happen because I love Pacific Rim 1. 2 was okay. The story was a little all over the place, but when you sign up to watch a big monster movie, a kaiju movie, what are you expecting to watch? You're not going to get some award-winning storytelling.
No, it's a bunch of it's all action and monsters and stuff getting destroyed. Of course,
yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get a little bit of acting here and there because we got to there's got to be acting because you've got actors in the movie, but you're mostly seeing fight scenes. You know what I mean? It's mostly them trying to take down the monster. They're all monsters.
Which I'm happy with how, just from the trailer that we've seen of Godzilla versus Kong, it looks a lot clearer than the first two. Because the first movie was very dark, the way they shot it. It was almost from like a human perspective of what was going on. The second movie had a lot more fighting, but still, it was from the monster's perspective, it felt like. But there was still just so much darkness and destruction, which it goes hand in hand with how big these monsters are. If these creatures are fighting, there's going to be destruction and fire and smoke and stuff. But Godzilla versus Kong, Godzilla versus it looks a lot cleaner. So you're going to be able to see a lot of the action and stuff going on, which I'm liking the ways it looks so far.
They're fighting in the daytime sometimes too. Like you see stuff actually happening in the daytime, which I feel brings out more of the actual, like the ability to show more if when it's in the daytime, opposed to when they have it at night, and you got these two things that are both essentially almost black. I mean, I know Godzilla is like a green, but you got
it's
you know what I mean. You
detail
want them in
too.
the dark.
It's detail too. You have to throw in detail with full CGI.
Oh yeah, especially Kong's face because they got to get into Kong's face. They always get into Kong's face, like give him the emotions and all that other stuff. Because you see him talking, you see him pretty much playing with a little girl at some point. You know what I mean, in the trailers, and he's like, like you know what I mean, like.
What if he just comes in with his finger and smashes her?
That'd be great, wouldn't that would just be some kind of like iron, thing. But I mean, as you saw, like even in the other one, they had a lot of interaction with the people. That was also the reason why I was saying I feel like Kong should win because Kong is going to be ultimately with the humans. You know what I mean? Because they have an interaction with him. They can, and he has sympathy for the humans, and I feel like that's why he's for the humans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we'll see how they go with it. You know what I mean? Because they're going to start off with it because they got to get him.
Now, Justice League, the whole thing was that he left because of this. The studio wanted him to keep making changes, and he kept arguing with them. That's why he filmed his version that he wanted to make and the version that they wanted to see. So Justice League's coming out on March 18th.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
And March 20th is when his daughter committed suicide.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of, you know.
I thought they weren't running. Are they really set on the 18th? Because I saw 2021. I saw other dates too behind.
No. They recently released the ads for that, so it's coming out. Because that's why Godzilla was pushed back, because Godzilla vs. Kong was set for, I believe, this date.
Now this
or the 20th or something like that.
Oh, the Superman. That's interesting. The Superman flag. It's the death of Superman flag, pretty much. I don't think Superman dying in this thing.
Yeah.
But
no.
Anyway.
Where is it?
That would actually be kind of dope if he does that, but it's okay. I'm not a big fan of Superman, but okay.
This was the original movie poster when it was supposed to come out in 2017. This was the poster for it.
Okay.
And this is what he put out.
That's kind of dope.
It's almost like a tombstone if you look at it.
It's the same thing, but pretty much destroyed, because the whole this DC universe is, what's
like
going on with it.
It's kind of like dead, but it's kind of like almost like a
And he labeled
beginning.
He labeled it Fallen. So from that to that, he labeled it Fallen. And then the second one is this one.
It's going to be interesting, because this can be a glimpse of what we could have had, because let's say this, this is his vision and, what he wanted to release, even if it would have been cut down to a shorter film or a two-part film, but if this is what he wanted, this is what he wanted to release, and let's say is like phenomenal, this really would have did good for the DC universe, and this would have kicked off the universe, beautifully.
Be a better start. Yeah, I agree with you. A much better start.
Because honestly, like with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you had Iron Man, the two Iron Man movies. You had Captain America, Thor, Hulk. Great movies, but to me, it didn't really like gel. It didn't really like fully come together until you had that Avengers movie, and that's when it was like, yo, this is happening, and this is what this Justice League. This is what could have been for DC, because right now
DC needs this.
Like
DC needs this.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, like what's going on with DC right now? Like, is the Flash movie still a thing that's happening?
Yeah, they say the Flash movie still happening.
There were so many rewrites. There was talks of recasting. All these like negative rumors that are going on. That wouldn't have been the case if he would release his movie and say it's an awesome movie. If he released it back in 2017 the way he wanted to release it, the state of how DC is right now could have been entirely different.
He had for his contract, he had 5 movies, and it was Batman, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League, and none of that happened.
See, I'm kind of on like, I guess, the outs on this, but I really did like Ben Affleck as Batman. I would have loved to see him get a solo movie.
Yeah,
it was.
And they were supposed to do that too.
Yeah,
the Batman. That's what the Batman turned into. It was Ben Affleck directing and acting as Batman, and then he went out as director, and then went out as
Batman,
the actor, and then it got rewritten and handed over to somebody else, and now we have the Batman without him. But
all right, it's Patterson now, right? It's new guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about that guy. Honestly, I don't know what you guys' takes on that dude, but
all right, so
that's Twilight right there, man. It's just that's no matter how I look at this guy, it's a sparkling vampire.
That's
how I look at him.
There are a few movies that he's a great actor. Like he's a talented actor. Just take away the whole idea of Twilight and that, I don't know, that fireball of a series. He is a talented actor, but
That's what I said. He was acting.
yeah, he's
So
acting.
you're supposed to be this little, shiny vampire, and that's
but
what
you
he
know
did.
what?
He acted like a shiny vampire.
But you know what though? You ever see like a lot of these movies where it's no matter what you think about certain actors, what movie comes to play. That's to me is every time I see this guy, it's always this guy. It's always this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always this shiny vampire, and he always to me has like an arrogance to his acting. It's like he always like this rich snobby person, which I feel can kind of work with working as a Bruce Wayne. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's the kind of attitude you need as Bruce Wayne.
But that's what I'm saying. That I could say it can work, but is he Batman? You know what I'm saying? That's it's a totally different. It's almost a totally different character. Yes, it's still got that arrogance, but it's not the rich arrogance. It's that kick-ass arrogance. Which can he do a kick-ass arrogance? I don't know, because to me, I feel like he's that. Like I said, he's always that rich snob. You know what I'm saying? Not this kick-ass guy, and he needs to put on about 100 pounds because that guy always is like this big in
Well,
everything
this
he's
is
into.
this is the second year that he's being Batman. It's only year 2.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's going to be
did he pick up some muscle because that's what Ben Affleck did. If you notice, this dude picked on like 100 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he's
granted, he's a
seasoned.
bigger guy, huh?
He's also seasoned, and Zack Snyder wanted Batman to be bigger than Superman because you're like this god that can do anything, but you have a human that's like brolic and that's bigger than you. So that's what he wanted. He wanted Batman to be bigger than Superman, the most powerful.
Would you see what I'm saying? That he was able to build that persona. Can we see that with this new guy? You know,
they're already almost.
Everything I see him.
They're almost wrapped. They're almost wrapped production. I think they're like 2 months away from being wrapped.
Well,
I mean,
like figure wise, whenever you do a superhero movie, you have to get into shape. He's joked about not working out, but he has. I've seen some pictures of him, and he's in looks like better shape than me.
Everybody's better shape than you.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, but what Anthony was saying, pretty much we're gonna get to see it's a Batman, his second year being Batman. He's a novice though. He's only been doing this for a year. So that's the
what's
idea.
the thing about Keaton coming back
For the Flash movie? Yeah.
Flash, they're bringing Keaton and Ben Affleck.
So yeah, the idea behind that is you have multiple timelines, with multiple dimensions, and they done in the comics.
Go that far?
Oh yeah, like
go that far in the Flash, that multi-dimensional. Okay.
Yeah, what they call the Speed Force, right? So you have the Speed Force where
it's the Speed Force movie. Okay.
So
you're gonna have like his whole team, pretty much, like the newer people, right?
Maybe. I mean, he even made an appearance on the Flash TV show.
Yeah.
So that was
awesome.
That was pretty crazy. That
was during the Crisis episodes.
So that was a cool, crazy little nod to that happening. It was like, oh wow, like now you can definitely say like these universes connected some way.
What's funny is that they recorded that after they already wrapped production for the whole Crisis episode arc. They already filmed that, and then they're like, "Oh, can he come back and do this real quick?" And they got in touch with him. He's like, "Yeah, of course." So he came in, and only those people knew about it. Was the 2 actors, the director, whoever was behind the set. That was it. It was a closed set because it happened afterwards. So even the actors who watched it when it aired was like, "What?" Because they had no idea that was even added in there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. More. Okay, I want to see more of that, more world building. More connecting universes.
Yeah, because if they can connect it better, and like get the storylines a little more better, like this is a serious like multi-billion-dollar project, just like the Marvel was. You know what I mean? There's probably just as many Marvel fans that there are DC fans out there. You know what I mean? And plus, there's people that like both. So it's like the fan base alone, if you could fix this, is going to be phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So like, why wouldn't you want to do this right? I mean, now, especially with the technology we have, You could do these the crazy backgrounds, the CGI, the crazy costumes. You could do all the great action scenes. And I mean, but why would you? Why would you mess it up the first time? I don't know, because the Justice League is like it's like pretty much it's like the pretty much DC's Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Or DC's any iconic like huge team.
See,
you know
I've said I've said this once. I'll say it again. Like, what Warner Brothers and DC needs is a centralized figure to take the reins and say, "This is what we need to get done. This is the path we're going to follow." Marvel has Kevin Feige, who he is the godfather of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nothing doesn't happen without his say so. He's the one who gives the okays. He's the one who comes up with some of these ideas, and this is, ultimately, it's a collective vision. But he's a head honcho. He's the conductor of this train, and that's what DC needs. They need a figure to step in and
conductor.
They need that conductor to be like, listen, this is what we're gonna do. This is how it's gonna tie into this. This is how I need this movie to end because it goes and ties into this. And when you don't have that, when you just have a bunch of random, not random, but you just have a bunch of people with their ideas, you can't have 10 people all with what they believe are awesome ideas, all throwing them at the same canvas, trying to make a painting. It's not going to work. You need that one person to be like, listen, this is what we need. This is what's going to happen.
Yes, I agree with you. And if they can put that together, exactly, they can literally this can literally be the rumors characters. Wait, of what? I see my boy Cliff there.
Well, yeah, this is the direction that they want to go in, and if they can pull this off, that's dope.
The characters from DC
TV
shows,
there too?
Which is Titans and CW.
Oh yeah, I see Titans there too.
I say do it.
All of them.
Swamp Thing. Oh man,
Constantine. Oh, you gotta watch that. That was good. That was good.
The Constantine.
Swamp Thing.
Oh, all right. So this is a good way to head into the next part. Rumors. Did you hear that they're thinking about another Constantine movie with Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
What? I love the first one.
And that it's probably going to connect to a Justice League Dark of him leading that.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I'm not 100% with all the devil stuff these days, but hey, it's a comic book that's actually pretty decent. And Constantine, yeah, I agree with you. He actually, and that was around the time I really didn't like Keanu Reeves that much, but he did an excellent job with that. He was like he was that character.
It's funny,
he played it very well.
Keanu Reeves is like a guilty pleasure for me because I know, acting wise, his delivery is not good. From what I read, he's an awesome person. He's been in awesome movies. Some movies he can really act to a certain degree, but sometimes his delivery is just, I always see him as, whoa, I know Kung Fu, just the way his delivery is. But I'm all for any movie that Keanu Reeves is going to be in. So if they bring him back as Constantine, where, like you said, Mike, I felt he did an awesome job, aside from not being British. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, his way of playing that character, he was like that nice but douchey character. You know what I mean? He knew his stuff, and he was like, oh, and then when a demon came, or he noticed the littlest thing in the wall, it was like, all right, there we go. He's you could tell he's in this movie. You know what I mean? The way he did that, you could tell he's feeling the movie. And he has movies like that. I agree with you with Keanu Reeves, but he has a lot of missteps, and those missteps, to me, mess up his character. I don't know about you guys. Matrix I was not a big fan of the Matrix. But the first one was okay. The rest of them was just what happened?
Now,
why would we look at this guy like he's a god?
But do you blame?
It's ridiculous.
Do you blame the Wachowski sisters for that? Because they're the one, the writer and directors right there.
I agree. No, the writers, yes, not him, but I agree. You're right. The writers, everything was pretty bad.
The writing on
that.
I I'm all for it. Like originally, like my hat, Cowboy Bebop, he was supposed to be Spike from Cowboy Bebop, but that project never got off, and that's one thing I regret not seeing him in. Like the closest thing you would see him in would be like John Wick.
Yeah, that was
And
actually I actually like that series.
I love those movies, and like I want them to because I believe they're doing a TV show if it ever gets off.
Netflix? Are they going Netflix on that one? Or are they doing HBO?
There was just hey, there's going to be a John Wick TV show, and that was it. Supposedly maybe starring a younger John Wick, but who knows?
Oh yeah, see what the beginning's like? Like
Yeah.
start them off and see what that legend is.
Obviously, you're not going to get Keanu Reeves unless you get that Disney de-aging software. But yeah, like
Actually, yeah, you know, look at the Bill and Ted.
I know, right?
Look at the-
I still like me and Sully still need to see my wife. We still need to see part 3. We have it. I just we haven't had the time to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, those classic. I mean, he's such a tard in that movie, but it's because he's a tard, it makes it funny. You know what I mean? Like, and the other guy was kind of like the smarter one, not really in a sense, but like at moments they had, but it was just the Dumb and Dumber aspect was just kind of funny with those guys. And back in the days, they're going through time and like those guys, it was hilarious to me.
Right.
Those are classics.
So Anthony, what's the next rumor we have on the docket?
Oh, before we go,
before
we stop with Keanu Reeves.
I have a few
I
more.
will tell you that my father actually knew him.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Brooklyn for when he was younger, and my father was actually friends with him. I have to find it. My aunt has it. He has pictures with him.
What?
Bro, find that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Yeah, my father was like mad young. I even remember when I was a kid. Like I was crazy. Like when he was like in his early 30s or some shit like that. My father. So I gotta find that. Yeah, and I mean younger than that because I think they kept speaking for a little while. But when he became big, I think my father was lost.
Yeah.
So because he left, I think he left for Hollywood and then he never came back.
Yeah.
So
we're getting time. So real quick. You see that one?
Wondavision episode. What? Hey. Hey.
Wait, the sexy outfit? What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, sexy outfit.
Original?
First of all, I got
the original outfit.
That's her original look in the comic.
No, I know.
I'm saying that
it's a Halloween episode.
Elizabeth Olsen has like skyrocketed on my list of like females that are on like my allowed list. She's smoking. But episode 5 and 6.
I think she definitely. I mean, I wouldn't say she's like smoking like you talk about, Brent, but I definitely agree. She feels that look of Scarlet Witch. I definitely agree with that. Like she's a good Scarlet Witch. Like I feel like she'll be Scarlet Witch for the next 20 years. Oh, they just do Coulson.
Anthony, where are you? I told you.
Yesterday, me and
Anthony were talking, and we brought up, that they might be doing some sort of Agents of Shield like reboot, and I said I want to see Coulson back in the MCU in some form. Like I love him as Agent Coulson.
Yeah, but they'll do a Skrull exactly like they talk about behind you. There'll be a Skrull. If they're gonna bring him back, he's a Skrull. He's not no superhero. No powers and nothing.
That would have been fun.
All of a sudden, Deadpool. Is this true?
Well,
it was planned to be like to be that way because he's been trying to get Hugh Jackman back, but he wouldn't come back.
Hugh Jackman is sick, man. He's like seriously still like messed up. He's got skin cancer. Dude's looking old as hell, man. I don't know if you've seen it recently. He did like he was doing like an interview for this show on Netflix. It's about New York, and he looking really bad. Like he looking old, not like skinny, just looking old. Like the sickness is taking part in him, and he's not.
I mean, he's
like
over like
that man.
He's over 50.
He's over 50. So
what about this one?
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about this.
Get out of here.
Do a bad thing.
Get out of here. Oh my God,
dude. I wouldn't be surprised though. He didn't do a horrible. He didn't do a extremely horrible job.
Bro, those are two of the most horrible Marvel-related movies out there. Next to the, I'd say the Fantastic Four franchise. Like, if you watch Ghost Rider, this is him half the time. I just pointing with his mouth open.
Yeah, I mean, look at it though. Maybe he got interested in it, and I could see that revamping the Punisher. Okay,
all right. So
this guy was a decent Punisher.
Yeah, two things. With Nicolas Cage, he has like a resurgence because he's been doing these batshit movies, and they're like terrible movies, but people are loving it. That and he has that Netflix series that's pretty entertaining.
Okay,
he's all over Netflix, dude. Have you noticed? If you look, just put his name in on Netflix. He probably has about 100 movies on there, if not more. Like, he's all over Netflix. Probably the most seen actor on Netflix. Like, every time I look at Netflix, I just look at movies and stuff. I'm just like, what? That one too? This one too? Like his face is everywhere on Netflix.
But now going back to Punisher, supposedly it's going to be, I guess, maybe probably a soft reboot. They're going to keep the same actor. There's a good chance they probably won't mention past storylines. I think the smart thing to do would be just to say that, yeah, he's the Punisher. Like, you don't need an origin. We don't need to see his family dying again. We don't need that. Like, I feel like a lot of these superhero movies, we don't need origin stories anymore. We don't need an entire movie dedicated to how they became this superhero. That's why, like, when Spider-Man was introduced into the MCU, I was so happy. Like, I didn't need to see Uncle Ben dying again. I didn't need to see him being bitten by the spider all over again. Like, it's almost common knowledge at this point. So, with Punisher, just do a soft reboot. Just say, yeah, this guy's the Punisher. Just start off kind of crazy.
You guys remember the original movie? Do you guys remember the movie with that blonde hair dude? I mean,
Dolph Lundgren.
That wasn't Dolph Lundgren, bro. Not that one. I'm not going that far. I'm talking about the recent one with that actor who's in, like, what is his name? Didn't he do, like, the Highlander or something? I forget. I think that actor.
No,
he's
I know.
Like the newer Punisher or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. He's not dead.
No, not dead. I'm saying the movie. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember the movie.
That was like that actually went into the detail on what happened to his family.
Yeah, Thomas Jane. That's who you're talking about. The actor. He was good. I don't know. I liked him as a Punisher, but John Benton, like, he's like really killing it. Like,
oh yeah, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, do you remember? Because this wasn't like their first appearance of the Punisher.
No, I thought you were talking about Dolph Lundgren, who I believe did Punisher, if I'm not mistaken.
That had to be like some 80s movie. I can't. I'm talking about something more recent. Or maybe it's not even Punisher. He did like a bunch of movies that were something like that. Like something like the...
back in the day, you had Marvel doing some questionable movies because they did a Nick Fury movie with the guy from Baywatch.
Oh, what's his name? What is that guy's name?
Oh.
Yeah. Anthony, you didn't know this? They had a Nick Fury movie. It might have been like made for TV, but
it was made for TV.
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury.
Oh yeah,
he looked terrible.
I remember that.
I would die if they bring him back in the MCU because since they're doing like this multiverse kind of thing, just do like a quick like blip where it opens up and you see David Hasselhoff as a Nick Fury. That'd be hilarious.
Just like Human Torch with
with
Chris Evans coming back.
That'd be hilarious right there.
He comes back through a warp hole of Doctor Strange, and then like all of a sudden he's Human Torch. All right, guys, let's spend our time. Hi, guys. Blah 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 blah.
That's it.
Blah 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 blah.
That's it for fan theories. We're still getting.
You've heard my theories. You heard their theories. Wherever I am.
In that box.
He's in that yellow box in some theory.
Fan theories. There you go.
There's my theory.
This is start shaking around.
Getting lost in the podcast.
Yeah, that's it for the first episode, I guess. A lot of fat to trim still, but thanks for listening.
Hey.
Yeah, we got to figure out
back.
like.
I'm in a multiverse. I'm in a multiverse here.
Sometimes just. All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Later. Seriously.
All right, that's it for the rumors. All right, guys, later.
Later.
Oh, Mike really left?